Okay, so this isn't really a good thing, but so I just had something happen, and I figured I would do this because I don't know, it's global scale, so maybe. So my husband watches my views and all the time, so I wanted to say, Kurt, you were right. You always will be right. You are right. You will always be right. Happy? Okay. So, there's that. He was right about something. He's usually right about a lot of things. But for some odd reason, it really just continually takes me an act of God to get shit through my head. You need to stop worrying. I've been told that for 40 years and I haven't quite figured out how to fucking do that. Right? I really haven't. I don't worry about the stupidest things, but you know, it's like I grew up with the saying, and it's like as long as you worry, nothing bad will happen. So not true. It's gonna fucking happen no matter what. It just soothes the soul, because if you've worried all your life, it just feels better. Which it doesn't. All it causes is a lot of fucking issues. Health-wise. This is being proven. My nerves are shot. My hands itch like crazy when that happens, and I itch them to the point that I swear to God they cut open because I'm itching them so bad because you just get time to figure that out now. And they break out open on the palms, which, you know, do you apparently know how many times you use the palms in a given day? It hurts. It's an outward reflection of my inner turmoil. It's just fucked up. So I learned something, and it really shocked me. So I read psychology books all the time because the human mind is amazing to me. And I was reading, or I listened to a podcast. I don't remember which one. I really don't anymore. Probably a podcast with my timing right now. But anyways, they were talking about how personalities aren't really different personalities. Like your mind can create characters, obviously, right? And it's in those characters that you feel like you're a completely different person. Now that is extreme. Personality disorder. But it's not really personality. Basically, you can experience shit that is so traumatic that your mind severs a tie with that. It just severs a freaking tie. Like, it literally just, like, creates little itty-bitty scissors type of thing, like, to put it as simply as possible, and just cuts the cord. It just cuts the fucking cord. Now here's the funny thing in the world about this, is if your brain can cut the cord of something that is hurting it, what keeps you tied to things that hurt you? Like, I wouldn't even talk about that. I was literally not talking about that. But I want to know, like, if your brain can cut a cord in you to where you just don't even think about it anymore, it's gone. Well, it's not technically gone. It's kind of like the internet. It's out there. That if you figure out, if you move the right gray matter, it's there. It's just hidden so far in you that you don't know where the fuck it is. Like, it is so ingrained somewhere deep inside of you that it will take the jaws of life, but you can pull it out. And at times you need to deal with it. I think if you can't, if you do crap, like, and you don't know why you do it, there's a reason. There is a reason, I think, for everything in this living world. I believe that to my core. which just kind of proved a point that I think I've always been a scientist. I just didn't have the confidence in myself to figure out that science is math. I should learn and get better acquainted with it. But according to a lot of people, I'm also a storyteller. Not a great one. So basically, you tell a story about science. Okay. But if you don't know any, or you don't have the confidence to feel, what do? You tell a story about you, because that's all you know. So how do you tell a story about you? Well, you figure out that you're fucking crazier than bad. With so many stupid health issues, it's not even funny. Because if you can't figure out how to tell a story, God will put it in you. To the point it will come out. Now, that whole thing with free will and everything, I do agree with, but however, I also think he does push the needle a little bit because he can. Like, so we all have free will, so you can eat the cheeseburger instead of the salad type of situation. However, if you're meant to do something, he will take... It's kind of like how someone could smoke for 100,000 years and never experience, like, lung cancer, and then, like, someone who sat in the back of a car one day on a Tuesday and boom, you know. I think, you know, everyone goes, why does God create disease? I think that's to put a fire under your butt to actually do something. Like, I've always asked questions, but I never knew what I was supposed to be. I never knew. You get sick, you get real freaking smart. You determine what's going on. And either you accept it for just the gospel according to the world, and you sit down, and you just let the world kick you till you're down. Or you fight. And even if you don't know how to fight, you know how to fight. Might be dirty, might be not cool. But if the human brain has the capacity of cutting something out of itself, or at least discarding it for a bit, everything that the brain does, the body does. Now it's funny. If you pay close attention to yourself, you know what triggers you. And I know my generation older don't like those words, but they happen. We call the younger generation weak. Why? Because they know themselves so well? Because they want to experience stuff and they call it what it is. I'm around young people every day, and I am amazed of how, and I know they're smart because they've had the thing to their, glued to their hand for pretty much birth. Like, doctor smacked them on the ass and handed them my iPhone, But I don't know. But anyway, so I got triggered yesterday. And it brought out a side of me I think it just amazes me how a picture can subconsciously bring out something inside of you and takes you to a place without you even knowing you're there. You know, you get told all your life to forget about the past, but I think it's messed up at times when you get told, forget about the past, here's the past. Forget about this, here's the past. That at every turn, you're faced with it. It is not easy being crazy in the world. It's not. Because you're not fully crazy, but you're not fully sane. But to know that, there is something definitely off. And I think the crazy part about it is when you get told you're crazy most of your life, for a very good chunk of it, you don't really like being called it when you don't feel it. So, backstory. We all know about a really crappy ass relationship I was in. And you can't avoid it, though. You can't avoid the past. Because if you try to avoid something, you're going to see it everywhere. This is a problem. You have to deal with it. How do you deal with it? Well, some say you accept it. It doesn't disappear, especially if it was not really a great experience. You can forgive. Doesn't make it go away. Doesn't make shit go away. Makes the anger go away. Makes the emotional side of it go away. Doesn't put the damage away. It will not make the damage go away. It just makes the anger and the emotional side of it go away. Time will heal all wounds. No, time heals the fucking emotional state of it. It depends on how bad the damage is that it will not affect the fucking damage. It will affect the emotional to it. You will stop crying, you will stop being angry, or you won't stop being angry, but you will stop showing all that anger. It doesn't heal anything. It just makes you forget. What happens when you can't? Or your brain won't let you? Because you can do things subconsciously. Because your mind sees something. It's kind of like, picture your mind as a flippin' British guard, right? He's just standing there watching post. See something. You don't think twice about it. Like, consciously, you don't think twice about it. This British guard that stands just tall and calm and peaceful, turns into the Tasmanian devil and just starts fucking shit up in your head. And again, consciously, you do not feel a damn thing. You start getting anxious. Start getting nervous. Start getting upset. Hence why they say women go a little crazy, because nothing caused it. Just a glance at a picture, a word, a phrase, a smell, a sound, and you had no idea, because the emotional part of it isn't there anymore. It is all in your head. But you don't like being told that it's all in your head. Why? Because you don't like being told you're fucking nuts. And why? Everyone's crazy about something. Seriously, I don't think there's a sane person left in this world. Do you realize that stuff that adults, like in their 40s, like me, have experienced when they're 18, 19, 20, kids are experiencing at 10, 5? I mean, if you talk to young people, the only difference between young people today and young people yesterday are they're actually saying, hey, I'm pretty fucked up. Because they've seen a lot of shit. I am amazed at what young people see and what they have to deal with. It honestly makes me feel a little normal because, fuck. You know, I mean, take Karens for an example. People laugh and make fun of them and yell at them and make them, but you know, there's something that fucked them up. Could have been one too many damn shopping experiences. Who knows? Could be because you demand stuff and, you know, you give the very best, so you demand it from other people. Except you can't demand what other people, because they're different. I don't know. Like I said, I am just incredibly enthralled with the human mind. Always have been. And the fact that I'm beginning to learn that what you eat can fuck with it. And just in my own experiences, how you can ease a lot of stuff with food. And not in an unhealthy, you know, I feel really bad, I'm gonna go eat a tub of chocolate, trust me, I do it, type of situation, because you're stressed out, you want sugar. It's knowing what you want. It's knowing that this makes you feel better. Why? Because this is why. I'm fascinated with why does sugar make us feel better? Why can certain foods do the exact same thing that aren't toxic to every part of the inflammation cycle? And I know I'm not really talking about food 90% of the time, and I'm not really talking about everything that I learned, because I learned a lot, and I was going to actually say something, but, you know, things happen. You see pictures. You lose your shit. God love Facebook for those, don't you? You know, you ever, you know, just get on Facebook and they say, hey, do you remember this memory? No. Hey, you might know this person. No, I don't. Not anymore. No. It's fucked up. You know, it's funny because, you know, you could be like, well, you know, people self-medicate. You have self-medication, you have doctor-prescribed medication, and then you have people who are just like, no, we will deal with the crazy. Funny thing is that you're not the only one dealing with the crazy. Other people have to. Because you force it upon them. By not doing anything about it. It's fucked up, really. But it is what it is. Now, I'm not asking you to feel bad about the fact that you force crazy on people, but that's exactly what you're doing. You're saying, I don't want to do this because of whatever reason, and I don't have to. You have to deal with it. And it's not fair. So that's why I think that with finances, and if you want kids, or if you want this, or if you want that you need to talk about your crazy. Not hide it. I can't stand that. People hide they're crazy, and then 6 months later, this is why we lead the world in divorce. I mean, really? This is why you hear about, everything. Is no one talks about their freaking mental states. And some of the times it's literally because you don't know, and I get that. But in that same instance that you don't know, learn. Don't just accept shit blindly. Like, oh, this is how I am, this is how I'm always going to be. No, bullshit. You can change. Like I said, the mind is a beautiful fucking thing. And if it can do some of the crazy ass shit it does, you can do what you do. You can do it. You look at what has been invented in this world and what we have done in this world and how far we've come. Look at the power that people have to squelch another person's. You keep hearing about the flea has a 35 vertical jump. It can jump 35 feet. You stick it in a damn jar, put a lid on it, it stops jumping that high. To the point its kids won't jump that high. Isn't that fucking shocking? I think that's the most amazing thing in the world, that you can have the lid put on you so long and so hard and bump your head that you stop doing it, and it is so ingrained into your body that your kids, something you produce, feel the exact same way. That is massive. Think about it. For the love of God, think about it. I have most of my freaking life, I have thought about nothing else than what the hell my mind can do to me. And I'm just now realizing what it can do to other people. What it can really do to yourself and what it can do to other people, because what you say, it's like sticks and stones may break your bones. But words can do so much more. It's just I'm just in awe with it. I really am.